Look at a tangential dimension, very interesting, powerful dimension, Rudra, who delivers destructive blows on all beings through his vibhutis or powerful manifestations such as Rudra, Yama, etc. This powerful manifestation that is responsible for all this closure can be referred to as Rudra, which carries the offering made to the Devas in sacrifices. So he is the fire element, sun, which means there is this fire or the energy form of light and such, creating a balance, and now fire in the form of transporting an energy or a gift, let's say a sacrifice, to another form, another dimension. This prasada or mercy is unique. Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to the Glaze Studios oil painting vlog number 25 of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamavali. This is a painting that follows the principle of calligram or micrography to paint the 1000 names of Sri Vishnu. While the painting is going on, I'm also trying to understand the names and their meanings, taking tangential perspectives from storylines in Sanatana Dharma, also sometimes the verses from Shrimad Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam and such. And this is what I am sharing with you on the weekly vlogs. The vlogs we have covered so far, we have already covered 230 names, and this vlog will cover 231 to 240 names, which means essentially we are covering 10 names in each of the videos. Even though 10 names are covered and the meanings are covered, they will be interconnected, and they are thoroughly interconnected. So I will be referring to previous videos and the reference materials that I have discussed in the previous videos frequently. So I would definitely request that you take a look at the previous videos and come back to this, so you're able to enjoy the interconnection even better, understand the roots even better. So this video is going to cover names 231 to 240, and along with that we are going to look at a tangential dimension, very interesting, powerful dimension, Rudra. What is it, or who is it? That's what we're going to look at. And we're also going to look at day and night from a very different perspective than we did in vlog number 11. This is what we are going to cover today. So without much ado, let's get on to today's vlog, starting with the names and their meanings. 231st name is Om Sampramardhanaya Namaha. This refers to one who delivers destructive blows on all beings through his vibhutis or powerful manifestations such as Rudra, Yama, etc. Destructive blows need not necessarily be taken completely negatively. Remember, we talked about the balance needed between positivity and negativity, and there is also destruction needed when things have to be brought to a close, so that there is space made for something new to grow. So this powerful manifestation that is responsible for all this closure can be referred to as Rudra. We are going to talk about him in a short while from now. 232nd name is Om Ahasamvartakaya Namaha. This means one who, as the sun, regulates the succession of day and night. Somebody has to regulate the balance, isn't it? There must be a balance of day and night. We are going to talk about that as well in a short while from now. 233rd name is Om Vahnaye Namaha. One who as fire carries the offering made to the Devas in sacrifices. So he is the fire element, and the offerings made in sacrifices. If you have typically seen a yajna happening, you would have noticed sacrifices being given in the or to the fire. So it is also believed that whatever is put inside, thrown inside the fire in that yajna is taken as a sacrifice, and it is taken to the devas or celestial bodies. and somebody has to carry this. Transporter is this fire element. Until now, we have discussed the destructive closure element, the sun, which means there is this fire or the energy form of light and such, creating a balance, and now fire in the form of transporting an energy or a gift, let's say a sacrifice, to another form, another dimension. Let's look at the 234th name, which is Om Anilaya Namaha, refers to one who has no fixed residence. 235th name is Om Dharanidharaya Namaha, one who is supporting all the worlds. So he is the one that doesn't have a fixed residence. He is the one that is supporting all the worlds, meaning the entire universe or the cosmos. So he has to be present, omnipresent, isn't it? To be able to move around and support all of us. 236th name is Om Suprasadaya Namaha. Prasadam refers to, you can think of again, a gift or sacrifice. We talked about the offering to the devas, isn't it? So that's also an offering. That could be a prasadam. A prasadam could be a mercy. A prasadam could be something beneficial in some perspective or the other to the receiver. Yes, Suprasadaya Namaha. What could it mean? One whose prasada or mercy is uniquely wonderful. Why is that uniquely wonderful? Because he gives salvation even to those who try to harm him. So look at the closure we talk about. If we connected dots, even the ones that are causing the negativity find a closure, but they do have something as a prasada, because they get salvation at the end of it, because their travel, their journey also had a purpose destined or designed by the Lord himself, and that has a closure. And when the closure comes, there is also a prasadam or a mercy being provided even to that. It's really hard to think of negative personalities or negative elements and even they getting salvation. But there is a possibility. There is a caveat. It's not that easy. We have discussed that in previous videos, isn't it? So let's go on trying to understand the next name, that is 237th name, Om Prasannatmane Namaha. This refers to one whose mind that is never contaminated by Rajas and Tamas. Rajas and Tamas are gunas. We talked about gunas in one of the videos where the personalities, the propensities are the gunas, isn't it? And we would have all these propensities. And tamaguna essentially points to, we can say laziness, we can also talk about tamas as a way of, prolonging things, not being able to complete certain things, or taking things too lightly, not too seriously. So there are so many dimensions within that, isn't it? Tamas. And Rajas on the other hand is like overperforming or overachieving, wanting to gain more out of things, maybe getting onto the greedier turf. So these are extreme propensities, and he is never contaminated by these extremities, is what this name is referring to. 238th name is Om Vishwadruse Namaha. This refers to one who holds the universe by his powers. 239th name is Om Vishwabhuje Namaha, one who eats up or enjoys or protects the worlds. So we talk about the personality that is not having a single fixed residence, is supporting the entire world and holding it up through his power, and also taking the measure needed to give that powerful manifestation that will handle the destructive element when the closure needs to happen. Eats up, essentially we don't have to think of physically eating up. Eats up in this context refers to closing, bringing things to a close. Everything consummates within him. and also protecting the worlds. Simultaneously, what is to be eaten up, what is to be brought to a close, maybe a negativity is gone out of the balance and has to be brought to a close. 240th name is Om Vibhave Namaha, refers to one who takes various forms. Why does he take various forms is what we have discussed in these avatars when we talked about different avatars. The forms, the propensities, the dimensions or the manifestations of the Lord in different forms has a different purpose altogether for each and every formation. And that's what we've been looking at all through these names as well and the vlogs as well. We come to the close of these 10 names, but of course we are going to get into a new powerful dimension or a form. What is that? Rudra. But just before that, let's discuss the night and day element. Yeah? Night and day, the name that we talked about was Aha Samvartakaya Namaha, one who regulates in the form of the sun, regulates the succession of day and night. And this is what we talked about in the vlog number 11, day and night having a very different, a deeper meaning. Night being referring to the ignorance, and day referring to introspection or light of wisdom and such. But this is another day and night here. And let's take the help of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita to understand the meaning of it. We are going to delve deeper into the verse coming from Canto number 10. For those who are looking at this for the first time, Canto 10, if I have to summarize quickly, is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, wherein Lord God presents himself who he is only for the eyes of Arjuna. Arjuna is in this dilemma. The existential questions that he has for the God is being answered, and this dialogue is entirely Bhagavad Gita, and the Canto 10 essentially talks about who he is in different dimensions. And we look at this dimension, Canto 10, verse 21. Adityanam aham Vishnuhu Jyotisham Ravihi Amshuman Marishik Marutam Asmi Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. Adityanam aham, of the Adityas I am. Vishnu Jyotisham, the Supreme Lord of all luminaries. Ravihi refers to the sun. Amsuman, radiant. Marichi, Marutam Asmi, Marichi, of the Maruts I am. Nakshatranam, of the stars. Aham Sasi, I am the moon. Let's read the meaning here, putting these separate meanings together. Of the 12 sons of Aditi, I am Vishnu. Of the luminaries, I am the radiant sun, and of the Marutas, I am Marichi, and of the constellation, I am the moon. So the reference is made to the sun and the radiant sun and this moon, sort of connecting the dots for us to have this, essential succession needed for day and night. It has to succeed. Why? There has to be a balance between the energy and non-energy, activity and non-activity. So there is time for us also to recuperate and build the energy up for the next coming day. This succession has to work like clockwork without a miss. Does it miss? Even if we miss, even if we forget things, the day and night doesn't forget. It happens in a flow. And this flow state of day and night, the Ravi and the Sashi, Ravi referring to the sun, Sashi referring to the moon here, is to happen for a purpose, for the energy to build up and also consummate and finish up, withdraw when the time is needed. This is also a manifestation of this identity of something evolving and something dissolving, isn't it? So we are now going one step deeper into the manifestation of Rudram. Let's look at Rudram as well. That is again with the help of Bhagavad Gita's verse 23 from the same canto number 10. Let's read on. Rudranam Shankaraha cha asmi Vitta Ishaha Yaksharashasam Vasunam Pavakaha Chasmi Meruhu Shikarinam Aham. Means Rudranam, of all the Rudras, Shankaraha cha asmi, Lord Shiva, also I am. Vitta Ishaha, Lord of treasury of all the demigods, this Kubera. Yaksha Rakshasam, of all the Yakshas and Rakshasas, Vasunam, of the Vasus. Pavakaha, fire. Cha asmi, also I am. Meruhu, referring to the Mount Meru. Shikarina, of all mountains. Aham, I am. Let's read on. Of all the Rudras, so the Rudra propensities, I am Shankara or Lord Shiva. That is the Rudra form. And amongst the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am Kubera. And of all the Vasus or 8 Vasus, I am fire. And among the mountains, I am Meru. It's very interesting. The Rudra form of Shiva is described here. So he is the form that is responsible for anything to be dissolved or bringing to a close. And even in the Yaksha Rakshasas we think of as negativities, he is the Kubera. And Kubera is a very interesting personality. I think most of you would have known what it is, or maybe without knowing somebody has gifted you something like that. And it's even called or referred to as Chinese Buddha. In most of the gifting things, I have noticed that it's a smaller element, a person really healthy, seated or even standing, depends, there are different meanings for each of this, and it's called Chinese Buddha, and it's also called Kubera sometimes, depends. They all look alike, these gifts, but they have an inner meaning. So it's a demigod format of wealth. Yeah, so that's there. And even the Vasus, the Vasu, he is the fire. We talked about the fire element. So the Rudram, the dissolution needs this propensities also to come along. Can you see? That's what this is referring to. And if I have to just give a little bit more of information into Rudra, he is also the one who's driving away evil. So the destruction not necessarily refers to something to be brought to a close. It could be just driving away of the evil. And Rudra is also one that eradicates problems from the roots. So the negative element, when they get out of balance, something has to be brought to a stop, and that out of balance is what is being stopped by Rudra. And Rudra has also meaning of crying or howling of the baby, the first cry of a baby. And on the other hand, it also refers to being fierce or angry. So there is this very interesting dimension coming up from this meaning here. Rudra, Lord Shiva, is always referred to as this energy of a baby as well. The first cry of a baby, the innocence. He is also referred to as Bholenath, Bole being innocence. Yeah, he is also having that innocence of being able to provide you whatever you want, in the true belief that you will use those elements being provided to you, those energies being provided to you for something good. But in case we misuse that energy, he is also the one that takes the fierce form and dissolves it, brings things to a close. This is all about Rudra that I wanted to share today. But this is going to be a dimension that will come back again and again. We are going to go deeper into these dimensions in the videos coming up. In the upcoming video, you will also understand the fire element from another perspective. More interesting perspectives, more interesting dimensions to open up. That's what we have coming up in the videos. Until we meet in the next videos, do remember to share your comments and your thoughts, because this dimension has just opened up and there's going to be abundant discussions coming up. So let's get started. Share your comments, share your thoughts on what you think about this dimension. Until we meet in the next video, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, stay motivated. Thank you. Bye-bye.